What's up, y'all? So I wanted to do this video. First of all, let me just explain something. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but they tripping, okay? When I say they tripping, it's taking hours, literally hours for me to upload a 10-minute video. Just a little 10-minute video, and I'm not the only one. I see it all over Twitter. People are complaining. Other YouTube and content creators are like, my video says that it still processing and buffering and uploading and pending for hours. I'm like, that's the same thing that happened just like last night, early this morning, around like 1 a.m. rather this morning, I finished watching the Lakers versus the Warriors game. The Lakers, of course, won, beat the Warriors beat the Lakers, and I uploaded that video. I uploaded that video around 1:15 a.m. this morning. When I woke up at 8 a.m., my alarm clock showed that it had just been uploaded 3 minutes prior to my alarm going off at 8 a.m. It takes 7 hours for that video to upload. It's not even 10 minutes long. Just right now, I just made a random video. You guys should check it out. It's kind of funny and informative about how I hated being stationed at Cannon Air Force Base, New Mexico, in Clovis, New Mexico. And again, it's like a little bit longer, like over 15-minute videos. I don't even like making long videos. But again, I had uploaded that at 11 a.m. and now it's now 5 p.m. It's just now uploading. So again, guys, we have a lot to talk about in the wonderful world of women's basketball. Okay, when it pertains to us as and fans of these women. And again, I'm about to record this video currently at 5:11 p.m. October 22nd Eastern Standard Time. I'm about to record it, okay, because we got some breaking news. I'm gonna upload it, but I'm sorry, you might not see this until like 1 in the morning, okay? It's just so much stuff I gotta cover, and I want to cover, but it's like these uploads are like slowing up for some reason. But guys, it is breaking news. Shout out to Sandy Brondello. She was fired as the head coach, the most winningest coach, okay, for the New York Liberty. Okay, she taught, instructed, and guided and coached the New York Liberty to their first championship win in like their 25, 26 plus years of being a WNBA franchise. And just this past season in 2025 for the WNBA season, she was subsequently fired, okay, from that head coaching position. But, okay, there's some light at the end of the tunnel because it is breaking news, guys. Sandy Brondello is officially have been hired to be the head coach for the latest and greatest, maybe perhaps greatest, latest WNBA team being the Toronto Tempo. Guys, this was just literally breaking news about 45 minutes ago. I saw it on CBS Sports. Allow me to read you a little article titled, Tempo to hire Sandy Brondello. Former Liberty coach will lead Toronto's WNBA expansion franchise per report. Sandy Brondello wasn't out of a job for long after not having her contract renewed by the New York Liberty, as Howard Magdal of the reported Wednesday that Brondello would be named in the first coach of the Toronto Tempo. Brondello has spent the past 4 years coaching the Liberty, leading the franchise to its first championship in 2024, but was not renewed after a difficult season in New York that ended in a first-round loss to the team she got her start with as head coach in the WNBA, the Phoenix Mercury. Now, I did not know that. Apparently, of course, according to this article, so the very first team was actually able to coach in the WNBA was none other than the Phoenix Mercury. For her career, Brondello has gone 271 to 181. So she has coached and won 271 games, got 271 wins, and also took 181 losses, okay? Still not bad, okay? That's more than half. You know, she has won more games than lost, right? With a pair of championships across her 12th season in Phoenix and New York. Both of the teams were nearly on the line of winning a title when she took over. Phoenix won in her first year and New York in her third, but now Brondello will take on an extremely different challenge with the expansion Tempo. Again, the article continues to talk about how when we see the expansion team just this past season of none other than the shout out to them, the Golden State Valkyries, okay, who has been headed, okay, by the head coach being Natalie Nakase. She used to be the assistant coach, okay, for Becky Hammon for the Las Vegas Aces. Brilliant genius of a woman. Of course, we took the other assistant coach. When I say we, meaning back here, as you can see the poster, us as the Chicago Sky, we got Tyler Marsh as our head coach, who was the other assistant of Becky Hammon. Okay, and we just saw how great, okay, when you think about it, and when you put the whole thing in perspective, how great the Golden State Valkyries were, okay, when they performed. They were going up against all the teams and beating a lot of the teams, even the great teams, okay. They beat the Fever, they beat Vegas, they were beating everybody. They beat LA Sparks, okay. They were doing pretty well to be an expansion team, to be a team period, but let alone an expansion team. And in this article, they're talking about how, you know, Sandy Brondello has a task on her hand, okay, because again, Toronto Tempo will be new. They will be in its infancy. It's still in its infancy. They'll be in their toddler stages come next year when they're actually going to be a formed team. We still got to get, you know, obviously they just named her as the head coach. They still got to get assistant coaching, another coaching staff. They still got to get a GM. They still got to get the team. they still got to put a roster together for the Toronto Tempo. And it'll be very interesting to see what she does as being the head coach of the Toronto Tempo. But again, shout out to Sandy Brondello. Again, even though I'm not a fan of New York Liberty, I didn't care for the New York Liberty, but it still made me feel some type of way. I was so upset to see that she was subsequently fired after she gave them literally their first championship. And people would say, well, they would make the argument of, well, Sandy Brondello's team, the New York Liberty, they won in spite of her. Like, they had Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Kayla Thornton, etc., etc. And it's not because of her coaching. She's not like a genius of a coach. That's not the reason why New York won a championship. Whether you believe that or not, they won that championship being headed by her. That's just the point blank and period. So again, I'm happy for her. We saw a wave of women getting fired as head coaches in the WNBA, and we've seen a lot of men taking over these positions. That's also, a lot of people have a lot of strong opinions about that. So again, shout out to Sandy Brondello. I can't wait to see what she would do with the latest and perhaps greatest WNBA expansion team. Coming next year will be the Toronto Tempo in 2026, and I will be so curious to see how that roster will come about. Again, congratulations are in order to Sandy Brondello.